No, I knew what her response would be. And today, hey guys, how's it going? Roger Hayer, Rosie, and Brittany Daly. How y'all doing?
Fabulous.
Fantastic.
I know that we were in the middle of a conversation. Can we just finish this up?
Yeah.
So we were talking about how some people, whenever they read, they don't hear anything. And Rosie and I went, and we both hear things. And Roger, I'm interested to know, what about you?
Do you
Honestly,
really want to know?
I
like,
do.
what do you mean by that? What do you mean you hear? What do
Like
you
you hear, like when you're reading, some people say that they don't hear, they're just reading it. Like they're not hearing either themselves reading or
Sensory
hearing
preference. Sensory
different.
preference.
Usually my mouth kind of moves while I'm reading, even silently to myself. So I think I would probably qualify under the group of people that hear it.
Okay, good.
Like I'm saying it to myself.
I can tell you from his number of books he reads on Audible, he is all hearing.
But sometimes if you do that, that means if you hear, depends on what voice you hear it in. I don't like Audible because I like to hear it in my voice or the voices I'm making up in my head. And if I
Oh,
hear that on something else, I don't like the way it sounds.
I can hear it in other voices in my head. You is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Like you can give the character a voice?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. I'm gonna have to do some research.
Read some.
Very intriguing idea.
Okay, let's talk about real estate. Sorry, guys.
No, hey, real estate is all about reading, so that's good.
I feel like I did a lot of things today, but they just disappeared in the ether. I had strategically moved so many needles today, like, but I didn't know the clock had moved so further.
You were moving the needle and then the clock was going like this.
I need to just move the hour needle and like ahead of you now. All right. Well, welcome, guys. October 14th. We are here for another Tuesday conversation.
That is weird.
What?
I was gonna say it's October 14th, and I never say the date. Neither does Rosie, and she said the date.
I wonder what's important about this.
Let me tell y'all something.
I don't know.
I read people's minds and I just say those words, and people are like, "Ah, I was going to say that." I say, well, I said it for you. Pay me rent for living in my head. Listen, so today's conversation is fascinating because today I really want us to tie together a relationship people have between, um, I actually want to go a little bit deeper into a conversation that we don't have as professionals. And oftentimes people want to numb the experience of what it means to move in any market. And moving requires somebody to leave one property and buy a next home. And there's so many things that happen around us that impact that. And so today I would like to kind of share with everyone what our hands-on experience is. And Roger, if you can tell us what is the environment we are feeling in real estate overall, right? And based on that, I would like to bring perspective of buyers from Ubri and sellers from my side. And I hope to God one day I find a better word than buyer and a seller, because I feel like it's such a generalized term. Oh, they're a buyer, they're a seller. No, they are real people looking to find a roof over their head, right? Which is a very significant moment in somebody's life. And selling is a lot of financial decision. It is letting go of attachment. It is letting go of an investment. So there's so much more that goes in there. And I feel like in real estate, we're so good at just summing it up in a word, buyer and a seller, right? So let's take it further today for people who are going to be listening to it later and telling us what they felt about it. We get phone calls later. Hey, by the way, I watched your webinar today. By the way, webinar, there is no webinar. This is a conversation.
Conversation.
Let's go.
There's probably not enough of these conversations happening because I always reiterate that idea that the Texas Real Estate Research Center, such a long name, at A&M publishes their updates only once in a while, and if you're looking for real headlines from places that gather data, it trickles in, right?
Yeah.
But if you want clickbait, or if you want like you want to feel a certain way, or you want to validate your ideas, then there's plenty of those places to go online, like YouTube, and just ask, hey, how's the market doing? Or you're going to see what people say, right? And mostly, um, even in a good market, it was always like some scare tactics, and because ultimately bad news is what sells. And the truth of the matter is that, if you're investing in real estate, buying a home, or doing any of those things, you're looking into a specific area of town, and you want to make sure that you're buying at a really good price. So your market is relative to your situation in that moment. But if we're talking about selling real estate, then it obviously matters how much we owe on the property, what's the balance, and what you could have got 6 months ago, or a year and a half ago, or 2 years ago, or 5 years ago. That's all imaginary. And so I would like to advise everybody who watches to look at the market more in a local setting. Like, what are the homes in my neighborhood doing? Because
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because I feel like if we go tier by tier, that would be helpful.
yeah,
Let's see what Roger just said translates. How does it translate at a seller at a property that is selling level and the property that is being bought level, right? So on the selling side, the only thing that slows down the process is when we protect a number instead of protecting the result. Most properties that are sitting on the market right now, the reason they're not selling is because beneath the surface, they all are protecting a number. And oftentimes, people who are numbers driven, they are more flexible to make a change because they see change happening around them. But when there are people who are more emotion driven, there is no relationship to what's happening in the market at the data level. Emotionally, they feel special about the place, and it's hard to let it go. So at some level, I've seen that the market is not slow because market is slow. It's because people are beneath the surface protecting a number. And what I'm about to say is I'm basically saying it at the risk of stating the obvious. Brie, I bet you have seen it. The homes that are winning today, they actually move with the comps. Like when you're writing offers, you show them comps, they're able to move the needle in their expectation according to that. And the ones who are moving with sentiment, they're just sitting there. Like I had one person who was completely sentimental about the property. Like we got an offer within first 2 weeks on the market. That's rare.
Mhm.
That's very rare. And rather than seeing the integrity of the offer, it was a completely sentimental response. So I think every person who's making a decision to sell in today's market, they need to follow the comps. They're going to need to follow the numbers around them so they can actually launch themselves into a new chapter of life. Brie, what's your experience on the buying side?
I think buyers should follow the comps as well.
Please, it needs to be said.
Because I had one client who saw a very nice property. The property had dropped by 45K, all right, and their pricing already. They dropped by 45K. And they are the best price property for what you're getting. Okay, you're getting a very rare product with 3 full bathrooms and a little bit higher square footage at this lower price. No other property is selling for that. But yet they want the number to go down another 25 or 30K. But then the 25 or 30K that they're wanting to give up, and then they've seen homes in that price range, they didn't like those homes. So, not to say that, some sellers might accept an offer like that, right? It's not to say we don't want to negotiate, but you need to be looking at the comps and seeing what are the numbers showing. Are the numbers showing this is priced competitively? Are they showing that they need to drop it even further?
Yeah.
I'm going to say something controversial here. And if you guys don't agree, please let me know, okay? So I remember when I first bought my very first home, and I went to advice to someone who was very financially savvy, made a lot of great decisions in their life, came from nothing. You know, I believe they were orphaned and all this, like lot of conflict.
That was his uncle.
That's my uncle, right? And
Very close uncle.
and so I mean, the guy was washing cars at 10 years of age because there was no money. His father had passed away. And I went to him and I said, "Hey, do you think that I'm making the right decision on buying this house?" And he goes, "Look, if you like something, it's okay to pay a little more for it." That's the controversial part, but I want to clarify on what exactly that means to me and maybe what that could mean for anybody listening. When we look at something from a angle or perspective of qualifying it as a good investment, we've checked off a lot of boxes. And we've said, oh, look, okay, it's in a great side of town. There's several employers around here. Once we're ready to move up, we can rent this place out. Like, there's just so much strategy, and all the boxes check off. Then you're at that point, then you're just like really trying to, what's that saying about making pennies bleed? Like, you're really pinching it. And then you're going to go off and probably pay the same exact amount for another house somewhere else after losing out on a few offers. And, but I can understand the buyer's perspective. If they're hearing this from their agent, they're thinking, oh, you just want to make your life easier and you just want to submit offers on my behalf and you just want to get the ball rolling. That is not at all the truth. If I was in the market today buying a house, I'm going to look at it. If I like it, I'm going to buy it. And I'm going to see if it checks off those boxes. Is it something that whatever my boxes are. And then if I'm looking to negotiate, I'm going to negotiate. And then if I can't and the seller's not budging, then I'm going to move on that house because I want
we have to reframe one thought here real quick.
Sure.
I think a lot of people, first of all, very valid points, very, very moved by your conversation around this, because I think when a lot of people get in a car, like before Bree came in, my whole life was ping pong between people buying and selling. I sometimes didn't even know who I was or who I'm going to be today. So thank you to Bree for giving me an identity after she arrived. So one of the things I think what I have observed on the buying side is that the only reason a buying process drags long is because people window shop rather than decision shop. If we decide today that, okay, we're going to look at each home and we're going to either write or release, write an offer or release it from the memory, no gray areas. And I think when people are saying, okay, I have a property that I'm liking, but I want to get it for 25K less, but what's available for 25K less in the market is a piece of tool that I don't want to own, you have to ask yourself one realistic question. Before seller decides to give it away to you, 25K less, could it be possible that they can get a buyer just 5 to 10K less in the market if they adjusted the price?
1,000,000%.
And you just, because now, guess what? They're coming that much closer as a higher value to the properties that just look like stupid tool, right? So when we are planting these ideas of 25K less, when property is already well priced reduced, you're actually helping other buyers buy and you're negotiating for them. So that's number one.
Yeah, because that property is going to go ahead and adjust their price and go back on the market and then sell to someone else for a lot more than if they've sold it to this other guy.
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen time and time again.
Yeah. And there's a solid urge for me. I'm pretty mean when it comes to numbers and stuff because I really don't have room for stupidity. I'm being real with you. Okay. If you're going to make stupid actions on my clock, no.
How many times, Rosie, have you leveraged low ball like that as an opportunity to price adjust just slightly.
I work with listing site all the time. I tell people, I said, before you take this stupid offer, let's adjust the price online and watch other people line up offers with you.
Yep.
Now, all I want to say is that the only thing that slows a buyer down is them trying to get so certain before they get the right signal. And what I mean by that is you write an offer with your person who's guiding you. During the offer, get the signal. How far is seller willing to let go before you lose the property to some other buyer?
Mm-hmm.
And when people move fast, it means they read the signal faster than anybody else. Those are the people who are rewarded in future, not the ones who are trying to purchase certainty before even efforts, right? So what is your experience?
That certainty is going to show up like on an Excel sheet or just crunching numbers or being really adamant. I think it may also come from people who like probably like a values thing. Like if I have to negotiate all the way down, otherwise I'm irresponsible. It's like, you know, when Asian kids buy something, there's a joke. I don't know, it's a meme. You could see it somewhere. But when Asian kids buy something and their parents say, how much did it cost? They got to tell them the lower price. You know, have you heard of that?
Oh, it's in our family too. I'm being straightforward right now.
Yeah.
Whatever you paid for it, you have to tell a little bit less because otherwise you might be ridiculed because they think they can get imaginary lesser number and maybe never buy it. So I think, did I make my point? Did you guys get it, what I'm trying to say? Because I feel like this is the conversation we're not having. Saying, oh, interest rates are high, buyers have to get over it. No, buyers don't have to get over anything. Sellers don't have to get over anything. They just need to read things for what they are.
I mean, okay, let's talk about sellers now. Like rather than reducing the price a little bit, to hold on to it for another month and pay out mortgage 2-3 months out. You know, it's like just adjust the price.
Adjust the price, yeah. Move with the comps, not with the sentiment, right? And like we are doing rivet auctions in our business right now, which is working out strategically. Like I feel like sometimes you just have to get into action and not worry about the perfect outcome because the possibilities it creates for people wouldn't have happened otherwise, right? So I just want to do a quick reality check here. When people are in any kind of distress, like this is a tough market for a lot of people, right? Even whatever got done in 10 days is taking 10 weeks for us. So we're working 10 times harder and smarter and strategically than we were 3-4 years ago, right? Right now, when I'm looking at people, and if they're in any kind of distress to sell fast or sell less or financial or non-financial or any kind of distress has different forms for people. It's not always money. I often feel like a lot of sellers, they wait for a unicorn instead of creating a market for themselves. They're hoping for this one unicorn offer that's going to solve all their problems off the table, rather than creating a market for themselves where they can choose a path that creates buyers. And over and over again, Bree, like we just celebrated one other client today who is actually going to be buying and selling. Where buying and selling was not at all on their books. With the numbers we saw, the financial possibilities they had, like it was going to be a pipe dream a month ago. But today, we're not only we solved all the problems, we're actually on our way to close on the property and sell the one we have. And it's because this person was not waiting for the unicorn. They were waiting for anything to happen. And I think this is a strategy reset going forward for us, like not letting somebody settle for a unicorn eternal wait. Why do I feel like
on that note,
you guys away today?
Talk about rivet auctions. You know, if you're in the market and you haven't spoken to us yet, and I keep seeing their webinars, and I'm into investing. Now's a good time to reach out. We're getting a lot of inquiries from people that want to auction their properties off, and maybe auction is a good strategy for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe you need to buy something that's on the market ready to go. Maybe whatever your needs are. Maybe you need something with a tenant in it already. Uh,
I,
whatever.
I, I wanna, I wanna, I'm very passionate today. I feel like I have so much to say. So I'm just gonna keep interrupting. One more
Yep,
time.
please.
I will say this today. Buyers and sellers, this is for you. What's dragging an outcome for you is not your lack of interest in the property or lack of choices for the property. It's you being passive and you counting on a passive strategy. You need to be active and let the sentiment take a backseat and allow the numbers to drive you in the right direction. If you act now, not wait, you got everything in your favor.
I think a lot of buyers are having some sort of like decision fatigue. They're like, I have too many choices. I don't know which one to pick because
Mhm.
they're freaking out on what is going to be the right one because there is a lot of inventory right now. So they're thinking like, is it A? Is it B? Is it C? Is it D? I have all the way to Z to look at. Which one is going to be the best one? And I think they're getting tired and they're having a little bit of overwhelm in their mind, thinking of what's the best decision that I can make.
Yeah. That
A lot
that
of
is
people don't realize this. I just wanted, Rosie, I'm as passionate as you are today too, and please pick up from this
you
point.
can never be as passionate as me.
Is for me, commute time is really important, and I read up on it. Commute time really impacts the quality of life. So, kind of maybe that can help narrow it down into the area or geographic region. I don't know. I'm sure you're already doing that, but I always thought it was fascinating that these studies have proven that if you're close enough to your work, that it actually enhances the quality of life.
You know what's close enough to your work is your home office.
That's a good one.
After that, everything is far away. You're not able to do a part of. A lot of people are doing that. This is a common thing now, right? But let's talk about this real quick, okay? I'm very passionate about this because I feel like this is not something we say openly. Like the things we're saying today is something that we say a nice version of, but not this exact thing. Isn't it true? Like I feel like telling
Nice.
someone today I want to congratulate someone that I'm about to meet after this call and conversation. I say, you know what? Congratulations for not waiting on a unicorn and instead opening yourself to the whole world and creating your own market. Congratulations. And you solved your problem with exposure, not hope. You know, I worked with this attorney. He said such a badass thing. He said, Rosie, hope is not a strategy.
That's what a lot of people go off of.
Hope is not a strategy. So, Bree, one more thing for your buyers that are having overload, cognitive overload. Here is what I would do, what I do with my sellers, and I'm sure you can translate in your world. Make a decision while sitting at home, sipping on coffee, on why looking at these 5 properties is the best decision rather than looking at 15 all on the computer. Because if you're doing this work on the road, it's physically and mentally fatiguing.
Mhm.
You should be able to justify why you're looking at something before you go look at it.
Yeah.
I'm having cognitive fatigue from looking at so much data and translating it for my sellers.
Well,
My market update used to be 1.5 day job. Now it's my week and a half job. Every day is a market update.
all right. So when let me give you like a what's it called? Like a format or something you can use to see if something fits your buying box, right? Number one is identify your goals. So I know this sounds cheesy or whatever, but really, literally, if you sat down with your spouse and kids and you said, okay, look, we're moving into a new house, we're buying, what's our
Yeah.
goal? Like if you can verbally state your goal, our goal is to XYZ.
Yeah.
Now you form some sort of clarity around it, right?
Mhm.
And then what are our assumptions? So your goal could be to save time from commute,
Yeah.
but your assumptions could be that X, Y, Z, and then weigh your pros and cons around that and pick a decision. The last one is pick one of the decisions that you came up with.
I
So
would I would
that
say
works
right
for me.
now, Ray, what you're just saying, I would say before even touring the house, right? I feel like buyers who are winning in the market, because there are so many investors who are buying offline far away. How are they making a decision, right? They're not walking into each home. I think they have this natural advantage because they have this one thing called discernment, which people don't have when they're really in the field all the time. And one thing I can see is, like, in today's market, the one who's going to win the market is the one who's going to be open to writing on a property that is rated 8 out of 10 for them. Because if they don't do that, very quickly, the tours become museum walks.
Let me ask you, Bree and Rosie, when y'all bought real estate, what sold you on where you were looking?
I'm going to answer for Bree, and Bree's going to answer for me. Let me tell you how Bree buys property. And Bree, let's play a little game. Game would be nice, right? Bree, is it okay if I do that?
Let's go. I want to know the game.
Okay. So here's Bree. And guys, there's about to be some profanity, so please plug your ears if you have kids around. I don't know how to filter this out when I'm talking about Bree. So this is what Bree says. You want to do this or not? I have already seen all the real estate. This is the best option you got. Let's just go with this. You don't want to do it? You know what? What's going to allow me to have more time with my family without having to drag everything out? Because I don't have all the time in the world. I have to get the work done properly, effectively, and then I can't be having this much complexity at the end of the day. Let's make a decision quick. Let's just get it done. What's the big deal? And so her decision is like this. I've already seen everything. This is the only best option. Let's just get it done. Too many colors. Just pick one. This one goes with everything. Let's just pick that. I'm not thinking about it 3 different times. We already made a decision. This is it. How close was I?
You're pretty darn close.
And I've never house shopped with her, guys.
You just when you know, you have a good vibe. You see what's available. I mean, again, it's.
And
right.
You've already seen the 200 homes a week. You have a bullshit meter.
Same thing with me and furniture. I had to go pick out new couches. Tell me how long I was in the furniture store.
10 minutes.
Okay, a little longer because I had to talk to the people. Oh.
You had to wait for them, yeah.
30 minutes.
30 minutes?
Well, 30 minutes in and out, like buying everything. So, you know.
Ray, you know what's funny? You say that? When I bought my furniture for my first house in Austin, I shopped for living room, bedroom, dining room, guest room in 27 minutes because it was going to take 27 minutes for the shop to close. And I was like, I am done. I walked in. The guy was like, we're about to close. I said, I know you are, but you're going to like what I'm about to do next. The guy running marathon in the shop and we done the check. I was done. I was like, we're not doing this again. So, Ray, now your turn.
How Rosie does it? I don't know.
Make a guess.
Is this a gun? How does Rosie make her decision? Roger, help me.
Okay, she goes, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
Wait, I know.
Wrong.
No, this is Rosie. No, this is Rosie. No, I got it. Roger, what do you think? Oh, you like A? Okay, we're going with B. Done.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
You guys are so wrong.
That's a good one.
So wrong.
Nope.
I'm so disappointed.
Nope.
Bree, try
you
again.
You came to me 20 times. You're like, what do you think? I said, if you like it, I'm good. She said, what do you mean? I said, if you like it, I'm good. I just want to be closer to the, not so much out. If I could be closer.
No. You know, see, this is why this is called post-decision activity.
What am I forgetting?
You know what you're forgetting? Because I don't involve you in the decision process.
She's already made her decision and then presented it to you as it's your idea.
No. I'm saying whatever objections you have before I write a final check, let's have it now. Because after I write the check, I don't want to hear about it. So, Bree, one more turn for you. Otherwise, you got 0 today.
I want a 0.
No. Come on. So tell me one more
Hey,
time.
0 is a powerful number.
How do I
Yo.
buy a property? How do I buy a property?
How do you buy a property? Well, like as a real person.
Like, how do you think I bought my house?
Oh, well, you looked at where you looked at where's the growth, where's the appreciation, and what is nearby, and you said, okay, this is it, I'm done.
Okay. You were a little bit close. You got 2 out of 10 now. I'm going to give you 2 points. Can I tell y'all how I made this decision?
Oh.
She walked in and said, this is the vibe.
No, there is no vibe. Okay. So I'm working just like you. I'm working with a bunch of people. So we walk into 200 homes. We're looking at inventory all the time, right? I negotiated a badass deal for one of my buyers. And after negotiating a bad deal, they were like, you know what? We don't like it. We want to build a new house from ground up. I said, are you sure about it? They were like, sure about it. We started building the new house. We bought the new land. I was like, well, what about the deal I negotiated? I said, you know what? I'm going to buy it. because it was a really good deal. I had already like done all the location work for the buyer and stuff. But when it came to numbers, I was like, I just negotiated this much money off the price and it's just going to sit there. I don't want my effort to be wasted.
So Rosie buys her homes by the amount of effort
Yes.
she has put into it.
Actually, this is exactly how I buy it. I don't like wasted effort.
You know what? You could sell me any 3-2 anywhere, and even I don't know, it's a figure of speech. It's hard to translate, but you could even sell me a 3-2 in God's belly button and I'd buy it. They're just saying like that secluded, that out in the middle of nowhere. If it rents well and it's a 3-2 and it's a single story, I might be a customer for it.
You know what? I can't wait for Roger to have a home on wheels. And I really want to see him make these decisions. You know how Roger makes decisions? Let me tell you how Roger makes decisions.
Ooh.
Can't wait to. Bree, you want to make a guess?
He's the vibe.
Bree, you go first, please. How do you think Roger makes decisions?
He just walks in. He's like, I'm feeling it today. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. This is good for my immune system. This is good for my nervous system.
No. That's Bree. 11 years of daily interaction. 20 years of marriage. Let me tell you how he makes a decision.
No, he doesn't make the decision because he can't figure out where we're going to go to a restaurant. And we get to a restaurant.
Yes.
Go somewhere else while we already sat down.
Yes. Thank you, Bree.
If I read your menu and there's nothing on it that sounds good, that's food.
Then why did you sit down? Okay, listen. This is how he makes a decision. He says, do I really have to go? You saw it. I trust you. You really have to go. I said, well, I'm going to write a check. I don't want to hear anything later. Because if you say anything later, we're having a conversation. And guess what? When he goes over there, then he's like, it all looks the same to me. Stopping. That means this is really good. Do you want me to make it more?
He's like such and such house. I'm like, which one was that one?
No. He's like, how much was that one? How much is that one? Like at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter.
Areas more.
I like everything the same, as long as the commute. So it was all just the commute, as if he commutes every day.
Yeah. At that time, I was commuting every day.
You know what? I am going to find him a house in the God's belly button. And I'm going to park him there.
And you're going to make him go there.
I said, remember? 3-bedroom, 2-bath, rents well.
No, he said as long as it rents well, he doesn't have to live there.
No, I'm not trying to live there.
Yeah, he's going to be living on the wheels, house on the wheels. And somebody else, that's what we did with our first house. We bought our first house. We lived there for less than 3 months. less than 3 months. And then we put a tenant up and we were renting with our in-laws.
Hey, made you money.
Take it over, yeah.
Oh.
Free. What is it?
So you get the point overall today? What was the conversation about?
But there's other ways too, right? So like there's other things I look for in real estate. Like for instance, if there's lakes or ponds nearby, bodies of water, that's nice. Jobs,
My
that's
question is, how
obvious.
many times are you going to the lakes and ponds?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there's things that everybody looks for, and for everyone, it's something different. What makes it an obvious yes versus a maybe versus a no? And so I'm talking about the obvious yeses. The obvious yeses are that the area is nice. It's got places you can go eat or shop, right? Like you want some sort of amenities. But now if you think about it, every corner of this city has the same resources. I was thinking
Yeah.
about this the other day.
All the same.
I was in North Austin, and North Austin, HEB, Hobby Lobby, Michaels, whatever, like, and then you got your clothing department stores, you got a Walmart, Target.
No.
No,
Amazon.
hold on, let me finish. And if you go to South Austin and you parachute out of the sky into that area, it's got the same dang amenities, same pizza shops,
Same thing.
same, it's like
Same
it's not
Amazon.
any different.
Gosh.
So here's my investor tip. Because this is true. This is where a lot of investors get stuck. They think which house should I buy if we're in the same general area and all the communities are nice master plan communities that have very similar amenities, the schools are the same, and the price points are same, off by maybe 10 to 15K or roughly around, or same prices. How do you make your decision? You pick one. That's
Yeah.
how you truly make the decision. Pick the one you like the most. All the numbers are the same.
You know what we won't talk about? You know what nobody's going to talk about?
What?
It's in all of the business books. It's in the most beautiful curriculum. You use your gut. That's how we've been controversial today. Use your gut.
Use your gut.
No, I have a discernment. This is not right. I would say pick single story over double story.
No, let's say all
2
that's
bedrooms over 3 bedrooms. If you really want to go down the rabbit hole, I'll go down.
They're
it.
all the same, but if they're all like that,
What if
we're
they're
in
all
that situation where they're all like that. They're all
Then,
the exact home.
then the year built. Like what I'm trying to say is that it's not that you haven't done it. What I'm saying is that if they have forgotten about it, let's do it one more time.
Yeah.
No. Listen. We're talking about someone's in the seat. They're ready to make a decision. They have two choices and they're identical. They're both in master plan communities. They're same year built, single stories. They rents are the same, prices off by a little bit, as Bree is saying.
Or the same.
Or the same. How do you make a decision? That was her specific.
Corner lot. Are they in the corner
You're
lot?
saying gut doesn't have anything to do with anything?
I think if gut feeling worked, people would make decision a little bit faster.
I think that in the nuances, I use my gut, and it doesn't.
Yeah, because I would use my brain.
To utilize their gut, but they're also they're scared to utilize their gut. They're scared to take advice. They're scared to listen to their. Honestly, you know what they're gonna do? They're gonna listen to their peers.
You know what? I say gut. I say
Wow.
gut, but it's probably my intuition, and my intuition is developed through my knowledge in the field. So, okay, maybe not everybody's gut is going to serve them the same way. So I understand.
Wow.
What Bree
What
said?
Breeze just said.
Yeah, I heard that.
Which is kind of terrifying to me. That
You're
you're going
to ridicule, like being ridiculed or questioned by their family members?
listening to someone who maybe they don't own any investment properties. They've never owned investment properties, but you're going to go with their opinion over.
100%.
I think what you're saying, Bree, is that it's almost like every buyer is hijacked by this one habit. They are crowdsourcing opinions until the deadline passes.
Yeah.
And now I want to ask each one of them, the people who were giving you so many opinions, did you let them know that you missed out on the opportunity because you were too busy crowdsourcing opinions? It's always one call, as Bree was saying, one property, one number, one submission. You go with it without jumping into a deal. You never get the right signal that, okay, this is right or wrong. Then you can compare it to something else, because a lot unfolds when we are submitting an offer.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Which I
haven't
don't,
even spent a single dollar, right?
yeah. You don't spend any money to submit the offer.
I'm point mate. I don't have anything else to say.
Hey, so I'm sharing something. I don't know if y'all can read this. Did it come up on y'all side?
No, I need new glasses.
Or it says, this is Carl Jung, and he says, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life
And you
and
call
you
it
will call it
fate.
fate.
Wait, I'm sorry. Until you make the unconscious conscious.
Yeah, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate.
Mm.
Let me translate it for you, Brie. Until you start taking 9 p.m. calls, will you awake and alert?
Side note, please don't ask for a 9 p.m. call.
There is no brain left by 9 p.m., guys.
No
Yeah,
break.
hey, there's actually a study that says judges are much more lenient towards the people in the court if they've had a meal or if they're one of the first to go through the hearings. So at 9 p.m., you're not getting the best of anybody.
I'll take a 7 o'clock call in the morning.
Same.
Same. My girl is right here with
You
me.
know what that means to me? Making the unconscious conscious. It's like, okay, you're if let's say I'm using myself, if I was afraid of being judged by my friends and peers, but I haven't made that conscious. It's what directs me in the background. I'm in denial perhaps of it, that what my friends think of me matters or doesn't matter, and then I go around and I start blaming other things. I start to blame how I wanted to buy that property, but it got away from me. Well, I never submitted a real, true, good offer. It didn't get away from me. That's in my imagination.
Yeah.
So this one really resonated with me, and it's been sitting with me for about a month. Is anything in your life that's not going the way you want? Take a look at it, and pretty sure you've not made something conscious, like something sitting inside you that's unconscious, and then you're just going to blame someone because it's not working. That's
Beautiful.
really cool. I like that.
I
I'm
like that.
personally using it, so
Yeah.
I'm not trying to preach to anybody.
Before we go, can I say one thing? Or are you waiting for this? 42. You are. Go ahead.
Say it.
You
Say
say it.
it. Say it.
Well, actually, it's it's some numbers, but I got some information that was just a little interesting to me. So it was the home values went up by 1.3% for the month of September. Um, sorry, I had to read what it said. And then I don't know who this is, but Catality forecast a 3.9 increase in home values over the next 12 months, which was interesting to me because I feel like we haven't been getting a lot of information on what they think the market is going to do. But I feel like over the past week, I've gotten a little bit more insight and a little more predictions. And the numbers are showing that we're having some increases year over year, which was interesting to me.
Yeah. Like the rock bottom crash, this is as rock bottom as it gets. It actually gets hard. That's what happened. It got really hard to move the inventory because of the cognitive overload, as Brie was talking about, and sellers protecting the number rather than listening and moving with the comps. Listening
But
to
let's nip that one in the bud too. Now, you don't have to buy at the rock bottom of the market, because when it's going back up, as long as it goes up higher from where you bought it, doesn't matter if it's rock bottom or not.
Does it make sense in today's market for the reason you're buying?
Yeah.
Period.
No, period.
Nothing else matters. Everything else is speculation and crowdsourcing opinions, which is our job. Our job is to crowdsource opinion, not yours. Yours is to filter through it and pick one that fits your needs. All right, guys, today we delivered 44 minutes and 28 seconds of high value because you took my number away. Now I'm going to do whatever.
No, 20, not 28 seconds.
Okay, well, it's coming around. And I want you to wait on the count of 4 seconds. Today we delivered 44 minutes and 44 seconds
There you go.
of badass conversation about real estate. Guys, if you liked it, call us, have a chit chat with us. And if you didn't like it, call us and chit chat again.
Hey, and if you haven't, register on Rivet Auctions, and somebody from the team will reach out to you.
And more importantly, coffee socials are Friday via Zoom. If you don't have the information, reach out to us. We're happy to provide it.
And you don't have to have coffee in your hand to attend.
You can have water.
And it's only for a limited time because we're going back to in-person calls soon. Or in-person coffees the next.
This is news to me.
News to me too. This is what he does to me all the time.
I get bad data, I get bad info. Listen to those two ladies. Don't worry about what I said.
Yeah, don't listen to him. He doesn't decide. We decide.
I'm just here for the looks, man.
You know what? But I will tell you this. I have had a kick-ass time putting decisions on him. He makes the best decisions. And then he comes back and he asks me, so Rosie, I'm kind of in a little bit of a situation. And I was like, that's not even a situation. That's like a solution.
You'd like to see me struggle.
It's like a solution screaming at you. I said, you know what the situation is?
Give him your binder.
You could kick out of this. That's probably what you did to Chris.
You know he made a decision.
As if I read Bree's journal today.
Methodical. He's gonna get it. You don't need help.
All right. On that note, guys, I love you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Be here.
Bye.
See you next time.
Bye.